The reason this all happened was because Donald Trump incited it.
Yeah.
So you've got the man behind the mirror is the guy who creates the chaos on the other side. The guy in the White House is the guy who told all these people basically to do what they're doing.
Not just that, but they said that they weren't going to deploy the National Guard because Trump, who was in charge of the Department of Defense, told them to stand down.
Yep.
So not only do you have these protesters breaking in, but you have the president who called them there actively telling our Department of Defense
stand down
and our federal military organizations to not do anything about it. I mean, I don't know how you can get a better case for treason.
That is the next point, leads me to the next point, which is this guy's got to be out now.
Yeah.
Like we can't
today.
He can't be our president.
Yeah.
Yes. There's
we're not wait till January 20th. Let's get him out the fuck today.
No, exactly. That guy deserves zero respect.
Yep.
And if I was working at the White House, I believe what I would do, because you never know until you're in the circumstances. But I believe what I would do is if I was supposed to be in some meeting or something with him, I would be like, I'm not going to the damn meeting.
Yeah.
I don't respect that guy.
He just tried to overthrow our entire country.
Yeah.
Why would we let him continue to run or govern the country in any capacity? We already voted to impeach him. The impeachment went through. He just wasn't convicted. And if he had just been convicted of his impeachment, he would have been out of office. Yeah. And the thing is, the Senate could still choose to convict him at any moment.
They'd have to re-impeach, but yeah.
Right. The 25th Amendment is in order.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Look, I can take vice president to become the president for the next week and a half or whatever. I don't care.
Symbolically, I think that would be great. Technically, it doesn't do a whole lot because between now and then, he's going to be gone anyway. But symbolically, the fact that he's impeached and removed and that we say that we don't stand for this kind of behavior in our country and give Pence a little bit of credit for standing up to Trump, finally, and not going through with this nonsense today. I say reward him with that little, label of getting to be president for a day.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the point is what message are we sending if we just pretend like this didn't happen today and he's still going to be the guy who's going to be our president?
Right.
No way. Well, no.
That's what I was saying about how the Bundy case was so significant in that it was absolutely sedition, even though it was a federal wildlife building. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't this huge big building, but it's still absolutely sedition. And they absolutely should have been tried as traitors. Yeah. And the fact that they weren't tried as traitors set the precedent that these people could walk in and say, yeah, well, the president is protecting us. So what, we're going to get pardoned anyway if anything happens. So it's fine.
That's actually a great point. The fact that he's been wielding this pardon power to show if you support me, you can get away with anything.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts. Yeah.
He pardoned Roger Stone.
Oh my God. Who's going to play Roger Stone in the movie? I can't wait. That is going to be such a fun role to play.
He's literally a comic book fucking villain. He dresses like a fucking comic book villain. It's ridiculous.
I literally said that earlier as I was listening to the news and watching the footage. I was like, this is something out of a fucking movie.
It is.
For real. This is a movie. This cannot be real life. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. On the world stage, we are. This is America.
The whole Trump presidency has been that. And honestly, I mean, I gotta say, it would have been a little what's the word when something anticlimactic if Trump didn't go out with somewhat of a bang, So there's a part of me that's kind of just kind of glad. I shouldn't even say that. I'm not even gonna say it. Are you not entertained? That's all I'm saying. We need to do something about this without a doubt. I think the prosecution of Trump and his accomplices, I think it's important for the health of our country going forward. But I also understand that the challenges in doing it, in potentially driving the country further apart. And Andrew Yang has spoken really eloquently about this. And I would really like to reiterate Yang's larger perspective here, because one of the things that enabled him to resonate so well across the aisle in his campaign is that he has from the beginning been talking about how these problems that we're facing, politics has enabled us to kind of be like us versus them, but reality, we're all in this together. We're all facing the same problems, and that these problems that we're facing are much bigger than the petty squabbles that we're fighting over in Democrats versus Republicans and progressives versus conservatives. We need something like a universal basic income. We need to figure out how to retrain the country to thinking about taking creative control over their local communities and creating the next opportunities for our economy, because otherwise millions of people are going to be out of work and they're going to be on the streets and they're going to have nothing better to do than protest and revolt. And we have foreign countries like Russia and China who are stoking those revolutions and attempting to get us to fight amongst ourselves as much as possible. We need to find a way to look beyond the insanity that we're seeing here in Washington and find a way to rise above the fray and say, how can we help the people in Arkansas, in Missouri, in Texas, in Florida, who feel like they're left out by the system, who feel like our government doesn't care about them, who feel like it is the government and is those evil people in Washington who are the source of their problem, when in reality, it's business. It's technology that is taking away their opportunity to thrive in their own daily lives. We have to solve these problems so that we can bring these people back into the fold and we can bring the country together and make people feel like Washington cares about them. And it starts with passing this $2,000 stimulus. It starts with actively considering an ongoing stimulus, a universal basic income, where people know that they are citizens of this country and they are going to get a dividend of the incredible growth in economic capital that is happening in the midst of one of the worst years in our country's history in terms of death, in terms of economic despair. What is the GDP doing? What is the stock market doing? What are the billionaires doing? They are making money hand over fist while people are in breadlines. People are waiting on their evictions because, we postponed the evictions until after the pandemic, but nobody's paying that rent. So those evictions are still coming down the pipeline.
They're still pending.
How do we bring people back into the fold and make them feel like they are citizens of this country and that they have that they are able to reap the rewards of the economy that is going to continue to grow at the expense of workers being left out? And that's why these ideas are so important. And that's why we need to take stock of where we are today and not just say, look at how awful those people are across the aisle. We should say, why are they suffering so? And how can we help them? And how can we bring them back together so that we are not enemies and we are citizens of the same country going into the future hand in hand, excited about our future, excited about the world that we're leaving for our children, and excited about the new potential that we're bringing online because we are unlocking more of our citizens to being able to consider the problems and finding new solutions because they're not just being slaves to wage slavery. So that's my little rant that I wanted to get in here. And,
I was going to say
it's going to be a challenge.
That was that was beautiful. That was quite the rant, sir.
It was. Andrew was so good at that. He was really, really good at that. And that's part of why, as I listened to Joe Biden address the nation today, I was like, oh, God. I mean, I was just feeling the pain and sadness of everything that we're seeing. And I was like, man, I wish that was Andrew because that guy did such a great job of bringing us together and reminding us that we're all the same, that we all want the same thing. And, and just helping us to know, like, we don't have to hate each other. It seems like that's the way that, the tone is.
Right.
And it's just, it doesn't have to happen that way. We can be compassionate to each other because at the end of the day, when people believe things that aren't true or they have a hard life, just like we each have our individual challenges and our individual pasts that were difficult. We didn't choose those. Most of the time we didn't choose those. And, that's not something that we have control over. And so we can all find, I think, some compassion for each other and help each other. And after all, that's what our species is really about. We're about each other, helping each other. If we were like about competition and hate, we would have been all gone by a long time ago.
No, that's so true. And it's at the end of the day, we share more in common with one another than we do have differences. And the problem is that we're allowing our economic despair and our economic troubles to isolate us and to basically enable people to come in and stoke the flames of, oh, it's those people over there that are causing your problems. It's the minorities that are taking, not minorities, it's the immigrants that are taking away your job. It's those people across the tracks who are just collecting welfare and not contributing anything to society that's holding things back. And that's why your job sucks. And that's why you don't have job security. That's all nonsense. The problem is economic disparity that is only going to continue to grow as a result of technological disruption. And it's just a fact that's happening. We have to develop a new economy and a new political system that enables the dividends of that economic growth to reach every citizen. And we're going to make it happen.
Thanks for checking out this clip from our show.
To watch more clips or full episodes, click on our profile below.
If you want to stay up to date on all of our new episodes and videos, click subscribe.
And if you have any ideas for future guests or topics that you would like to see us cover on the show,
leave us a message in the comments or connect with us on any of our social media channels at Funtime Program.
Or on our website at funtimeprogram.com.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.